Hi, I'm Nan Simonson, and I'm a nationally board certified health and wellness coach. I am going on 7 years in a lifestyle medical practice that just recently combined with other lifestyle medical practices under the umbrella of Blue Zones Health. And I'm thrilled to be with them because I very much believe in the power of the Blue Zones and what we've learned through Dan Buettner's work with the Blue Zones, but that's another subject. I wrote a book, now it's 4 years ago. I will be 70 in less than 74 in less than a month. And I wrote this to celebrate my 70th birthday. So it was published just weeks before I turned 70. And Aging Powerfully, Accept Your Past, Take Control of Your Future. There's a bit of a memoir in here. But more importantly, I had learned for several years as a health coach what lifestyle as medicine could do for us physiologically in ways that medications could not, even when medications were given and people were hoping to get well. Quite often, it wasn't until they changed their lifestyle. And many times it was only when they changed their lifestyle with no other intervention were people able to turn things around. So this is what I'm talking about today is part of lifestyle. And it is my attention to a book that I just purchased, listened to on Audible, and then ordered the book. And it is Mind Magic. The author is Jim Doty, James R. Doty, MD. He's a neurosurgeon. He has done brain surgery. He worked in pediatric brain surgery. He is, oh no, oh gosh darn it. Well, I hope you can hear me because the gardeners just showed up and I'm just going to fly on through this. I know what they're doing out there and it's a noisy thing and hopefully it'll be abated soon. Okay, so what I'm talking about today and mind magic, the neuroscience of manifestation and how it changes everything. I'm interested in manifestation. A lot of us are interested in the law of attraction as put forth by, oh, so many people. I was in sales for decades and decades, and we were told you bring about what you think about, and um, what you can see you can achieve, and etc. Well, as a neurosurgeon, he knows the brain, and he brings us down to the physiology of our being able to manifest. And okay, I'm trying to focus because now I'm wondering what I should do. I'm not going to stop. Okay, all right. I say that as soon as it stops and when it starts. Ugh. Okay, I'm going to be reading you these bits that I want you to know as it relates to gratitude. And I'm just introducing this subject to you. I'm introducing this man, his work, this subject, and I just today ordered his first book, Into the Magic Shop, and that was a New York Times bestseller, multiple award winner. As again, he examines, it's a memoir on his part, where he's been, where it took him, and what he learned from his own experience, as well as what he knows about the workings of the brain. Uh, we're talking about gratitude here. And I know this is a subject that you probably think we have beaten to death, the subject of gratitude. Well, he breaks it down again into neuroscience. And that's what I want to read. So I'm not even going to try to paraphrase. I'm just going to tell you. We're talking about the gifts of gratitude. If we find ourselves clinging too tightly to a particular outcome, we may notice that we have lost sight of the good that's already right there in front of us. Significant aspects of our intention may already be materializing in our experience, but we fail to recognize them because we don't or they don't fit our exact expectations. We fail to recognize them because they don't fit our exact expectations, or our minds are completely focused on other aspects that have yet to come to fruition. I'm going to give you an example. I have a mission, as stated in Aging Powerfully, and that mission is to spread the word about lifestyle as medicine as people age, to help them understand that they have the power to age with power, not age out and start a downhill descent, living their last 4, 5, 10, 12, 15 years with illness. But we have the power to almost age backwards if we take control for ourselves. We're going to get through this, aren't we? And so what we're looking at here is, again, my own experience. I wrote my book. I created social media presence. I have platforms. And what I don't even know if it's recently, but I'm going to say recently, gotten caught up in is greater expectations in that, less appreciation in what I have accomplished. Every day, I'll have comments on my videos saying, I appreciate you, you're making a difference, you've inspired me. And yet, it's so easy to get caught up in social media comparison and numbers and feeling that they're not good enough and they're not growing fast enough. And I caught myself doing that and not appreciating the fact that based on what my desire was, it is making a difference. So I'm using that as an example, and I'll leave that alone. I think you get the picture. Cultivating gratitude is a simple and effective means to shift our focus from what we still lack to what is already working and energizing our lives. Point made. And gratitude is not just a superficial warm feeling promoted by enthusiasts of positive thinking. It produces a whole range of actual changes in the brain that contribute to physical and mental well-being. He then talks about a study that was done with 300 college students who were seeking mental health counseling for depression and even suicide ideology. And the group was broken up into 3, assigned a practice. 100 of them were assigned the practice of, besides still having their counseling, the practice of writing a gratitude letter. You'll hear more about that. The others were assigned writing an evaluation of their deepest thoughts and feelings, and the other just counseling without doing anything more overt than that. 4 weeks after the experiment, the researchers checked in with the students who had been writing, and the ones that had been writing the gratitude letters reported significantly better feelings of well-being, mental clarity, and it helped reduce tremendously negative experiences. And when they checked in after 12 weeks, the difference had grown even larger. This increasing benefit is unusual. Many other studies suggest that the mental health benefits of positive activities such as pleasure hobbies decrease over time, while the opposite was true with the gratitude writing study. Even when the gratitude practice consisted of just spending a few minutes writing down a couple of sentences, the benefits continued. The simple practice of expressing gratitude had amplified the help the students got from the psychotherapy and made it longer lasting. And then further down, it turned out that the students who wrote gratitude letters showed greater activity in their medial prefrontal cortex when experiencing gratitude and it was measured on a scanner. This part of the brain is associated with moral and social cognition, reward empathy, and value judgment. Researchers were then able to conclude that the emotion of gratitude gives the subject a feeling of being supported and a desire to support others, as well as a sense of relief from stress. The finding is striking for several reasons. First, the scanner was measuring their brain 3 months after the letter writings started, indicating that the simple practice may have lasting effects on the brain. And more importantly, the findings suggest that practicing gratitude had sensitized their brains. I love this part. Practicing gratitude had sensitized their brains to look out for gratitude down the line and experience it more readily when an opportunity to feel it happened again. In other words, it trains us to look for more to be grateful for, more to appreciate than we would if we weren't practicing it. In practice, this also means that the brain is being trained to turn attention away from painful emotions such as resentment or envy, increasing the difficulty of ruminating on what we didn't want. Sometimes we need to practice sensitivity to the good in our lives, to notice it at all. As we have seen in details previously, that's in the book, the negativity bias can keep us so blind to the positive that we may start it and take it for granted without appreciating the effects that we're getting. This is especially true, and what we tend to do is then not appreciate the people in our lives that subtly make a difference. And this is what it's explaining is an important part of gaining sensitivity. I think I'm going to have to stop because this is getting really distracting. Maybe not to you, but it sure is to me. So let me just add these last couple of sentences. Gratitude is a very powerful practice because it requires us to see how we've been supported and affirmed by others, and allowing us a relationship strengthening emotion. And then finally, with its pro-social reminder that the sources of goodness in our lives are outside of ourselves, gratitude helps us to let our intention be part of the vast web of others like us following their vision. No matter how far along we are, recognizing and appreciating the gifts we've been given naturally inspires us to want to repay them or to find opportunities to pay them forward, which in turn helps others open to the magic in their own lives. I didn't do that the way I meant to, but I'm going to leave it at that. And then I'm going to explain the gratitude letter practice. Dr. Doty encourages writing heartfelt letters to express gratitude to someone who has made a meaningful impact in our life. This practice involves, number one, identifying someone you feel deeply thankful for. And I was thinking of this and I thought, gosh, who do I want to get that personal with? And all of a sudden I came up with a list of a number of people that I would love to do this with. Identifying someone you feel deeply thankful for. Writing a sincere, detailed letter explaining how they influenced your life and why you're grateful to them. And then, if possible, delivering it in person, but otherwise sending it. This practice not only strengthens relationships, but also deepens our own sense of fulfillment, as expressing gratitude has a profound emotional and neurological benefit, as explained in the book. So I think that's that. That's what I wanted to talk about. What I got out of this is a reminder that what I do occasionally, but I will do before I go to bed every night, and I can do this once I understand the force of it, is to see if it's too much. It ends up falling out of favor because other things grab attention. But if just writing a couple of sentences every evening or every morning about what we're grateful for can help us see better what we have in our lives rather than what we don't. And you've heard me talk about this before. I use the example of somebody whom I know, and some of you know who I'm referring to, who within this last year had to live through the death of a child. And yet, when she came back to us in less than 2 months, it was, yes, less than 2 months, and came back to us, and she is a person whom we see on social media. She was strong. She was vulnerable in that she showed some emotion, but she also stated something that is exactly what I'm talking about and will wrap up this subject. She said, I have always believed my grandmother, a concentration camp survivor, taught me that when you are looking at life, you can always, always find a reason to feel grateful for what you have, celebrate that. And she said, you have many feelings that you can honor, feelings of sadness and loss, feelings of gratitude, and then feelings of great joy, all at the same time. That taught me so much. And I hope that even just hearing that, and you may have heard me say this before, can help you right now in some way. I do recommend the book. I'll let you know more. You know I will. I tend to share all these things that I feel taken by. And I will. I'm starting the 6-week practice now. I'm going to be, as some of you know, speaking of people whom I admire, be part of Dr. Brooke Goldner's 6-week rapid recovery protocol on January 24th. And if I start this now, I will be finished before that and have that much more of, I believe, a connection to my own power as it relates to the use of my mind. And that's that. Thank you for listening. It's a little bit disjointed and all over the place, and sorry about that. And hope to see you again. If you enjoyed what you heard, consider giving me a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe, and have a great day, because I know I'm going to. Bye-bye.